Willie D Live.
What's up, family? A black man has grand plans to develop his own melanated county in Texas. And guess who's trying to stop him? Ding, 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 ding. You guessed it. A white man. Check it out.
You're uncensored tonight. Well, there is a small community here in Texas that's causing a lot of controversy and, of course, getting a lot of attention. It's a result of a man named Malcolm Tanner who is moving to that community, already set up shop there, but he's inviting more of what he calls melanated people. And some see it as a threat. They see it as an all-black community. Let's take a look. And joining us here on The Factor Uncensored to discuss this topic, we have with us Dr. David Branham from the University of Houston Downtown and political analyst Dr. Dietrich von Bietenfeld. Now, we're talking about Attorney General Ken Paxton filing a lawsuit against Malcolm Tanner, who's originally from Indiana, saying he is deploying a political takeover in Lovington County, preparing to call it Tanner County. He's inviting all of these black people there. So what exactly is Ken Paxton concerned about when it comes to Malcolm Tanner?
Well, the purported reason for the lawsuit is sanitation and the lack of established facilities, the strain on the infrastructure. So again, where Ken Paxton has legal authority involving the health and welfare of Texas residents is much like, I liken this case to the old 300, where Stephen F. Austin brought, through the authority of impresarios, brought many people into the state of Texas for housing, and this self-professed doctor, Tanner, has said, I want to do the same thing. I'd like to move these individuals, pay them $5,000 a month. This county has a lot of wealth from the Permian Basin, only 64 residents, over $60 million in the coffers, so that's about $1 million per current resident available for this individual, if he's able to win the elections, to reallocate some of those resources. So I think that's another concern for the Attorney General moving into an election season. As we look at redistricting, as we look at maintaining a conservative majority, this individual bringing possible liberals, possible Democrats into an area, then taking over a very wealthy, oil-rich county, possibly imposing regulations beyond that of the Railroad Commission and restricting this access of resources is very concerning on a visceral level.
And he's made it clear, he's also said melanated people, people of color, we want to bring them here so they can have the political power, and he hadn't been shy about saying that.
Absolutely, and like the 300 who came here with the promise of converting to Catholicism, they didn't do that. With the promise of not bringing slaves, they brought slaves. With the promise of adhering to Mexican standards and learning Spanish, they did not do that. We have an individual who's taking a lot of these principles that our republic was founded on and saying, no, I would like to see more of Tanner County looking like me, and then bringing an area where it's depopulated. The weight can be much more aggregate power than bringing 5,000 individuals to Houston. So that's going to dilute the vote, versus in this county, in Loving County, maybe like Loving versus Virginia, we're just going to break in and desegregate this and integrate, and there will be people of color with the majority of the vote.
And he says Loving County will now be called Tanner County, in his opinion, not officially, but of course, it's almost like being king. Your thoughts about
might as well be. It might as well be like being a king if he can pull this off, because I mean, I think the lawsuit has merit, because anytime that you have a development going into an area, you have to do this analysis that Dr. Von Bietenfeld is talking about. You have to make sure you can have schools for the kids, you can have food for the residents, and so forth. So you have to do that. So I think the basis of the lawsuit is probably there. But these are things that you can get around. The one thing I don't think he can get around, though, is saying, okay, the people who live in these houses cannot be white, because that is a form of discrimination. I mean, if you put the shoe on the other foot and said the people who live in these houses cannot be black, then we would see right away that you can't do that. You can't have that kind of discrimination. So he's going to have a problem with the racial component to this, where he's saying, in order for you to come in, now it's a wide amount of people he's talking about, people from Asia, people from Africa. Just as long as you don't have white skin, you can come in. So that's what he's going to have a hard time getting around. And in today's Supreme Court, where we just saw a 14th Amendment ruling in school admissions, where it says you cannot discriminate regardless if it's white on black or black on white, then we have a Supreme Court who's going to look at this and say, no, this is discrimination. You can't deny housing because of somebody's race. And I think this is where he's going to have a problem.
Dr. Von Biedenfeld, how feasible is this idea that Malcolm Tanner has? Your thoughts?
I think we've already seen individuals accepting the offer. While we're not certain where the $5,000 would come from, again, it is possible that there's an idea or at least planned or scheme for the county coffers, which are flush with funds, to spend this money on residents in a way that you might legally see done. Again, as Dr. Brandon mentioned, you don't want to do this based on ethnicity or race, which would be prohibited characteristics, but if there is a way to bring people of a lower income and then create a subsidy, I think there are a lot of legal mechanisms where people can initially bring RVs or bring mobile homes. We've got quite a few of these prefabricated homes in the state of Texas sitting on the side of the road. Move them in, bring in water wells. We've got a number of communities that have mud districts, so you don't necessarily have to have this $3 million water facility from day one. And Texas, again, was founded with one-room schoolhouses, and we're doing great. We're the 8th largest economy in the world.
Well, I mean, this is not really new. The libertarians have been trying to pull this off for a long time. Their problem is that they're trying to find a state with it's on an ocean where they can find a port and they can take over and make a majority of the state.
We'll be back with more Factor Uncensored and more on that topic when we come back. Stay with us.
All right, fam. First of all, shout out to my homeboy, Isaiah Carey, the #1 news reporter in H-Town, in Texas, in the United States of America. Great reporting. Moving on. A family, how many of you would move to an all-black community if you were offered an opportunity like the one Dr. Tanner is offering to the 5,000 black, brown citizens or proposed or potential black, brown citizens? How many of you would take that offer? Give me a thumbs up if you take the offer. Thumbs down if you say, nah, Willie D, nah, man, I got to hang around white people, man. I got to depend on white folks. Nah, that's loaded. I can't do y'all like that. Just give me a thumbs down if you say, nah, I ain't taking it. Whatever your personal reasons are. Thumbs down. You don't like it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not doing it. I'd absolutely take up the offer. I think I'd take the offer up. Here's the deal, fam. We have to realize that we are behind enemy lines. And we can't be making these damn announcements, making all of these grand announcements. You can't do what they do, okay? You just can't do it because they are in position of power to block you. This is why people say black people can't be racist, because racism is about power, having the power to stop somebody from doing something or to allow someone to do something. You have to be able to affect somebody's financial situation or their societal situation. Black people don't have that power in the United States. White people do. And this is why you have this attorney general and others who are up in arms at this brother trying to create a safe community for black and brown people to live in. In the Ozarks, Arkansas, they got an all-white town, and the state is not trying to sue them. We talked about this about a month or so ago. There's an all-white town, and they got other all-white towns that they're creating, and the state is not trying to sue them. You know what people say? Well, if they don't want to be around black people, they don't have to be around black people. You know what black people say? Well, if they want to be around me, I don't want to be around them either. F them. They call sundown towns. And do you know why they're called sundown towns? Because lawyers, judges, doctors, politicians, firemen, police officers, when they would get off work, when they take the badge off, when they take off the uniform, they get off work, and then when the sun go down, they'd go hunting for black folks. That's where it come from. So, and they got sundown towns all around the U.S., and they're not doing anything about it because your politicians, including your AGs and governors and city council members and mayors and sheriffs and deputies, they are part of those sundown towns. So of course they're not going to do anything about it. And of course they're going to be up in arms if a black person tried to pull the same thing. The trip part is they pull the sundown town game because they want to harm people. They have a sundown town because they want to hurt people. Whereas this brother is trying to build his town, his community, so that the people can be protected against people like them, the uncivilized mutts of society who think that because your skin is a different color, that gives them free reign to unload on you and to bring harm to your body. They have this sick fascination with black folks. They don't want us around them or in their community. And when we try to do our own and build our own, anything outside of the ghetto, anything progressive, they got a problem with that. That lets you know it's about control. It's about the arrogance that they have, the audacity of these uncivilized mutts to try to control black bodies, to try to control how much progress you can have, to try to put a ceiling on your prosperity, to try to put a ceiling on your safety. It's a cold game, fam. It's a cold-blooded game. I wouldn't have said nothing. He shouldn't have said nothing. He should have just went about his business, quietly building. File all that paperwork. They would automatically believe when somebody's trying to file to get annexed or whatever they're trying to do, trying to get resources or whatever, they would automatically believe it's coming from some white folks anyway. So they'd be just signing away. I wouldn't have said nothing. Black folks need to learn to shut the fuck up. Stop talking about what you're gonna do and just do it. By the time it's done, it's too late. That's why when y'all hear me making announcements about what I got going on, what I'm doing, you only hear about once it's already in motion and it can't be stopped. Because there's too many people out there that are running interference, fam. It's too many people, it's too many haters out there. They'll run interference on you. Like, stop talking about what you're gonna do and just do it. I'll commend the brother for trying, but now he got hell to pay because they are gonna absolutely block him from being able to build that community. They're gonna absolutely block him. They're gonna employ the police officers in the next county to harass the people in that county. Because you know when there's no police department in that particular county or city, then the closest one takes jurisdiction. So they're going to absolutely block them. They're going to absolutely harass people who take that exit to go into that small town. Go in, man, build it, build your own schools, build your schools, and that's another thing about building. They're talking about sanitation. Damn near every place where there's ever been a settlement, it started off with zero sanitation. And you build it up. So that's just one of those games, one of the tricks that they use to run interference on you. He don't give a damn about no proper sanitation for black folks too. They got places in this country right now that are supposed to be safe and established that ain't got good sanitation. Right now, big cities, bad sanitation. They don't give a damn about no sanitation. They're gonna come up with anything they can to try to block the brother blessings. That's what they do. So this ain't about no looking out for Texans and looking out for the people. They talking that Texan shit like, yo, we don't deal with outsiders. This is about Texans. They want to try to act like it's personal. Nah, they don't give a damn about no Texans. They give a damn about what they got going on, how they getting paid, what the next hustle is. And if they ain't part of that hustle, then they're going to try to block it. They don't want us around them, but when we go and do our own thing, they try to block that too. We try to go, look, no, we don't want to be around y'all ass. We just want to do our own thing. We're just going to do us. You ain't got to worry about us. You ain't got to worry about black fatigue. You ain't got to have no interaction with us. No, I can't have that. It's unsafe. What you're trying to set up is unsafe. I don't give a when. And since when has any people in this government started caring about black communities? When? It's a cold game, man. Cold game. Black people, you got to learn everything is not for public consumption. I am going to try to reach out to bro, see if I can catch up with him and get a better understanding of why he did what he did and why he's doing what he's doing. Maybe he knows something I don't know. No more talk.